Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.
Hello and welcome back to Undercurrent, which tonight finds me in the Harold Boas Gardens here in West Perth. I'm Christy Mollica.
A mosque development proposal in Munster has caught local media attention, with claims local residents are angered by the plans. The Southern Metropolitan Muslim Association insists a mosque in the area will be of great benefit to the Muslim community.
I was wondering if you had a problem with mosque getting built here in Perth?
No, don't have a problem at all, no.
If they want to build a mosque, yeah, it would be okay by me.
Well, I have an opinion. I don't think that it would be a problem to have a mosque built in Australia.
I've got no problem with mosque, each to their own.
Islam is the religion of peace and freedom also, so anybody has choice. So these facilities will actually help to develop the interfaith dialogues and also the youth activities. And also there are many activities that Muslims do in terms of the marriage ceremonies, social functions. So those are the facilities are also given. The multicultural image of Australia will be promoted. So more intermingle will happen.
I wonder if they would have churches built in the Middle East. I don't think so, but we're very giving here, so we will.
I think there's nothing wrong with the religion. It's what the people make of it.
The article states residents are opposed to the mosque development. When we were in the neighbourhood, most we approached declined to comment nor expressed outrage.
And obviously in any initiative that you take, there could be both positive and negative views. I was approached by two news reporters. Perhaps they have interviewed the people, those who are opposing, their views only expressed. But there are people who feel that there are many people from that locality supporting this project. I mean, I should not say that the media is sensationalizing, but there is one report saying that 800 people, it is not 800 people will be gathering there.
And I think the media hypes things up so people talk about it a lot.
I mean, we invite them into our country, then I guess we've got to accept their way as much as they've got to accept ours, as long as it's a two-way street.
We should respect all religions. I'm a Buddhist, but I respect all religions. I'm a Christian, so I'm allowed to go and worship in a church, so...
But I don't like it. I don't like their religion anyway.
Why is that?
Because we've been fighting them for thousands of years, and now they're coming to take over our country. I don't like Muslims, full stop, okay?
You can see that there are many places of worship for other faiths are there, and it's a big establishments are also already there. If councils doesn't approve, then obviously we'll be able to buy this land, but we will have to find some other land.
Spokesperson Dr. Islam insists he has seen nothing but positive encouragement from the community.
People were so enthusiastic about this, and but particularly Perth Muslim in general, they are looking forward to have this sort of facilities. Somebody said that, okay, we don't have access to internet online submission, so could we just put some signatures? So we collected some signatures, and it came out to be around 400-500 actually.
The public consultation period has now closed, and on February 9th, the Cockburn Council will decide whether the proposal will go through to development. I'm Janae Tomlinson reporting for Undercurrent.
Well, next up, Jasmine Stewart catches up with the plight of a Subiaco resident who is finding that the leafy green foliage on his front verge is causing more than its fair share of problems.
Are local councils really putting people first? Recently, a resident from Subiaco has lodged numerous complaints to his local council about a few low-hanging trees outside his home. One particular tree caused a major road accident and a lot of confusion amongst traffic.
On November the 10th, at approximately 8:30, 9:30 in the morning, I witnessed a truck stopping on Bagot Road so it wouldn't hit a overhanging tree and having a vehicle run into its rear. With the accident happening, I saw cars on the wrong side of the road entering the intersection of Townsend and Bagot Road, and I also saw motorbikes on the footpath. It was total confusion, as you can imagine, during peak hour traffic. I wrote a complaint. The very next day I wrote a complaint to the council advising them that I had photos of the accident and about the tree that was a bit low overhanging the road. I found that they're not interested in my complaints or concerns. They're not interested in trimming the tree at all. They're advising me that I have to live with the tree. They're allowing the tree to dispose of nuts, vegetation all over the footpaths. They're allowing the trees to crack the footpaths. They're allowing the trees to overhang signs, public signage, and even roadways. So what can you do? I can only do so much. I talk to the residents that come walking by this area when I'm sweeping up the gardens and so forth. I have elderly women that have been around the corner. A lady that's about 87, she lives in a house just around the corner here. She's been arguing with the council for 6 years to trim the tree down because it's on her house. The council should pull their head in and accept their responsibilities. I have a copy of their manual, their policy manual. They should do what their policy is, what they state to do. They state that they are responsible for the lifestyle, the health and safety of its residents, pedestrians and vehicle traffic. And this is basically the grassroots of any council. They're supposed to look after the roads, the footpath, the lighting, prior to anything, prior to zoning, prior to rubbishing. You know, it's a grassroots thing. And if they can't do that job sufficiently, I worry about the other things that they're responsible for, quite frankly. I think that the council are more concerned in their future development of a urban forest policy for the city. They're wanting the city to be green, but by having an urban forest policy, it still doesn't put you off or let you off the maintenance. It doesn't let you off the servicing of those trees. The council has suggested there's a lot of paraphernalia at the moment about Subiaco being a dull and boring suburb, that they want to upgrade it and make it more vibrant. Well, hey, clean up their streets. Clean up their footpaths and their trees first. Clean up, it's like a garden. If you make the garden look good, the place looks good. A council is there to represent the people, to represent the ratepayers. We pay for the council's needs, their offices, their coffees and their milks and everything. I find that I haven't been treated with the courtesy or the respect of a ratepayer. I will try to take further action. I will go to the Ombudsman. I will maybe cut the tree down myself. I do not want to take the council to court. I'd rather cut the tree down that is over my property, over my roof line, and let the council take me to court.
Here comes the sun, little darling.
Although Section 5 of Subiaco's policy manual states that the council is responsible for maintenance of trees, they have refused to comment. I'm Jasmine Stewart, reporting for Undercurrent.
Never one to shy away from an interesting conversation. Next up, John Hammond sits down for a chat at the Court Wine Bar with Lynn Vickery, the state leader of the One Nation Party.
Lynn Vickery, thank you for joining me at the Court Wine Bar this afternoon.
Absolute pleasure, John, absolute pleasure.
And Lynn, you're involved with the One Nation Party in Western Australia?
That's correct, I'm the state president.
The state president. Lynn, there's obviously a multitude of questions that I'd like to ask you, but I probably won't get through them all this afternoon.
We'll do our best.
Let's start with some of the topical issues that most Australians talk about when they talk about One Nation, and the first one obviously has to be immigration. Now, Pauline Hanson was criticised for what people perceived to be a view that she was racist. Was that a fair comment by some Australians, or was it a misreading of One Nation's policy?
Well, I think it was really an unfair treatment by the media in many respects, and it was, I think, John Howard himself who actually indicated that after the court cases and all the other nonsense that went on with Pauline Hanson. So, yeah, there was an element of unfairness, and I think there was a lot of political bias at the time. I think one of the positive things that she did was she woke the Australian population up, and that's a good thing, because while the people are thinking, they've got a chance to change Australia for the better, and it's really about the people. It's not about me, it's not about One Nation, it's not about the Labor Party, the Liberal Party, it's about what the people think, what the people want.
And Lynn, what does One Nation think, or you think rather, about a 4-year term of Parliament for federal politicians?
Fixed terms of Parliament are excellent if you have a government which is doing an excellent job. If you have a government which is doing a lousy job, then you want to get rid of them as quickly as possible.
And would you
so it creates a real dilemma, doesn't it? Which way do you jump?
And I now have to ask this question, of course, what do you say about the current Gillard government? Do you think it should go or fall on its sword?
I don't think it's a matter of whether the Gillard government should go. I think the people will eventually see the Gillard government go, and after it's gone, or when it goes, I think it will be a very long time. Labor will wander in the wilderness for many, many years. Their economic policies have not been good, and one of the priorities for One Nation in Western Australia isn't so much immigration or some of these other issues. It's the real issue of how we're going to move forward into the future with sustainable government.
And what about a few other topical issues, Lynn, if I can ask you about them? What about uranium, which is another issue that was dealt with at the Labor Party conference?
Yes, uranium, again, one of these issues which it's a bit like gunpowder or dynamite. In the hands of good people, it's very useful. In the hands of bad people, it's very dangerous. So we have to formulate policies which can protect and stop uranium getting turned into nuclear fuel. On the other hand, it could be an enormous boon from power generation, static power generation for Australia. And we have the asset. If we can manage it properly, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't use it.
What are your plans for the future in terms of your personal life and One Nation? How are they going to meld together?
I have a personal situation where I'm a grandfather. We have 2 young grandchildren in our care full time. They're my absolute #1 priority. But I meld that with One Nation because I look to the future of Australia, which is their future. So I'm very caring of the younger generation.
Lynn, this is all the time we've got at the moment. I'd like to thank you for coming along to the Court Wine Bar.
Absolute
and
pleasure,
wish you all
John.
the best.
Yep, thank you so much.
As always, it's been a pleasure to have your company here with us tonight on Undercurrent, but we would love to hear your ideas. So you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or of course visit our website and send us an email on www.wtvperth.com.au. I'm Christy Molliker, and I can't wait to see you next week for more of Perth's very own Undercurrent.
Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.